In the previous video, we created this sample title block in the model space and we used NCA paper size, which is 11 by 8.5 inches paper, and we have used this architectural unit format or the imperial unit format so far. So now we'll add the fields, text and other information in the title block, and we'll use it in a drawing. So let's get started. Alright, so we have already created this title block text style. Now it's time to use this one, and we'll start using it from this block. So here we have this revision section, and the information related to drawing revision is generally mentioned here, so that's what we are going to do. So I'll go to this text and select multi-line text. Now I'll make a box here, okay, and I'll add revisions. That's fine, that's enough information for this. So we want to have all the drawing revisions here, so let's select move and let's move it a little bit towards right. Now you can type the number of revision like 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, and you can add different information. For example, the revision note, the person who did the revision, and the date. So these are the different informations that you can obviously add here. So let's just do that quickly. So I'll add one information here, revision note, and similarly you can add remaining information. Just to keep things simple, I'm not adding all the information, I'm only adding some of the sample information here. Let's move to this block here. Now here you can add other information like drawn on, that's the date, on which date the drawing was made, also checked by the person who checked this, and the name of your client. So let's add that quickly. So I'll go to multi-line text and make a box here, and let's type this drawn on. Alright, now instead of using that tool again and again, now you can make a copy of this, but before that let's select it and move it properly within this box. So again I'll select this, press enter, and I'll just move it a little bit over here. Alright, now let's go to copy, select it, press enter, and move it down like this and move it down again. So these are the three copies which I'm going to make. Now double click on this one and change its name, and it should be checked by, and here the name of client. So let's type client. Alright, so there we have it. Now let's move to this one. Here we have the logo section where you can add the client's logo or your own logo. Preferably this will be the section for your own logo, because this block will be used for the information of your current drawing. So this is the client section. You can add logo of your client here if you want. For now we'll use this to add our own logo. Now we'll add information in these two sections, and here again you can make a copy of these text which we already made. So I'll just select it, select copy, and I'll copy it right over here, then over here. So these are the two copies, and here you can type project and drawing. So the name of your project and the drawing name. There are a lot of other fields also that you can use, that you can fill here. For example, you can add the scale of your drawing, your sheet number, the drawing number, the revision, and other information. So that completely depends upon you how you want to use this title block. For this case, I'm just keeping those fields empty. But now we'll add some fields here also. So fields are some dynamic information that change automatically once added. And before adding field, let's just move this one also a little bit towards right, because that's overlapping our lines. So I'll just select move and I'll move it like this. Alright, that seems appropriate. Now the text size looks a little big in this case, so I'll use a different text size for our fields, and for that I'll once again go to annotation and this small text style icon that will open this text style. We already have this title block text style. Let's create a new one. So new, and let's name it as fields. Okay, And here in the height section, let's change it to 1/8 of an inch. So now I'm decreasing the height a little bit and close it. All right, now we can use the fields. So to add the fields, you can use its command FIELD and press enter. So the first field which I'm going to use is date, and for that I'll go to other, system variable, and here I'll select date. So let's just scroll down here and let's select date, and here I'll select this format of date, so 3rd May 2018. So that's the format which I'm going to select. Click on OK, and look at this. So now we have this field on our cursor, and it's taking the text style from the text style which we just created. I'll simply place it here, and it will be shown with this gray background. Don't worry about that. When you plot your drawing, it will be plotted like a simple text without this gray background. And also you can see that the size of this field is a little smaller than this one. So that's the field which we added. Now here in this section, the checked by section, you can add the name of the author of your drawing or whoever created the drawing, and for that once again I'll use the field. Now I'll go to the same drop down and I'll select document, and in this case we are interested in author name, so I'll select author. I'm not going to select any uppercase or lowercase formatting. I'll simply select none. OK, and I'll add the name of author right over here. Maybe we can just move it a little bit to the downward side like this. Now we can simplify this by removing this by section from there, okay, to make more room for this author name. All right, now let's move to this, and here we can add the project name and the drawing name as well. So let's do that. Again, I'll go to field, press enter, and this time I'll select title. So we want to add the title of our drawing, so I'll select title. Well, none again. Okay, and here the drawing title. Right now you can see only these dashes here. Well, that's because we don't have anything defined here in this case, but when you add your title block in any actual drawing where these fields are defined, they will automatically populate the information right from that drawing. If you want to add other information like the viewport scale of your sheet set, you can do that. So let's do that here. So I'll press enter, and that will repeat this field command. And now I'll go to sheet set, and I'll select sheet set placeholder and viewport scale, and I'll select use scale name, and now click on OK, and I'll select this area to place this viewport scale. Right now it is overflowing that boundary. That's fine because viewport scale will obviously not take that much space here in the actual drawing. So we have added a lot of information in this drawing. If you want to add any static information, for example the name of your client, if you want to add that, simply go to the text, again create a new text, and it will be now added with the smaller text size. And let's say that in this case we want to add the name of client as SourceCAD. So there we go. So that's SourceCAD, and maybe a little bit more about SourceCAD. So B1128A, and just click outside there like this. So that's the little bit of name and the address. Now we will save this title block as a template, but mostly title blocks are used from the layout space, and right now we have it in the model space. So we need to move it to the layout first. You can use this directly in the model space as well if you want, and you can now add your drawings within this title block area, and you can plot your drawing. If that's what you want, you can clearly do that, but generally we plot our drawings from the layout, so we'll move it to the layout. And to do that, I'll select the command copy base. So type copy base, press enter, select a base point. I'll select this lower left corner as a base. Now select everything and press enter. So everything has been copied in your clipboard, and we'll use that in a moment. Now let's go to layout, and here we have an existing viewport. Let's just erase it. We don't need it anymore. We also have this paper, and we don't know the size of this paper. So the first thing which we are going to do is change the size of paper to NCA. So right click on this layout 1 and select page setup manager. Now go to this layout 1, modify, and now you can change your settings. So I'm going to change only 2 settings. the plotter. I'm selecting DWG to PDF. You can select any plotter which you want, or any installed plotter, any physical plotter. In this case, I'll just keep this DWG to PDF. And the paper size is NCA. So let's look for that paper. So we have this full bleed paper which we are not going to use because in this case we don't have any margins. Well, this is the paper which we will use. So we have this NCA expanded size, and that's the one, the landscape view, which I am going to use, 11 by 8.5. That's the one that I needed. And now with these changes, I'll simply click on OK and close. So that's the NCA size of paper. Now we need to bring our title block here. So let's type paste clip. So paste clip. We have already copied this from the model space. So paste clip, press enter, and it will bring it directly here. And remember the base point that was lower left. So it will now paste it using that lower left corner as the base point. Now I'll make sure that I click well within this plotter margin, because anything which is beyond this plotter margin, the dotted line will not show up on your final drawing. Now we have it here, but there's a problem. It's overflowing that plotter margin as well as the paper area. So we need to bring it properly inside. And to do that, I'll select this stretch command. Okay, now I've selected the command. I'll make this crossing window. And just carefully make this kind of window so that these two areas are crossed. This line as well as this line are crossed by this crossing window. Press enter, click on a point, and now carefully move it inside like this. Repeat the process for this side as well. So I'll go to this stretch again, click anywhere here, move to the left and press enter, click, and I'll move like this. I'll repeat it again, stretch, and this time up to this point, and move it inside. And there we have it. It is now well within our plotter margins. And this is now prepared finally. So let's just rename this layout. So layout one, right click, select rename, and let's rename it as NCA. And let's delete this layout 2 as well. We only want a single layout. All right, so we have this model space which should be empty now, and we can just get rid of this from the model space because we don't want anything in the model space. We only want it in the layout. But if you want it in the model space as well, just keep it there. Now we will save this as a template file so that it can be used again and again. So I'll go to this application button, save as, drawing template, and this will take you to this template folder which is buried deep within your installation directory. You can see that. So if you want to save it here, that's fine, you can do that. Else you can select a location. I'll select desktop. So first make sure DW2 is selected. Now go to the desktop where you want to save it. In your case it might be something else, some other location, maybe your network drive, and then give it a name. So I'll name it as NCA template and save. If you want to add any description, that's fine, you can do that. Else click on OK, and there we have it. So we have our template file on the desktop, and you can now use that template file to open your drawing whenever required. Now let's just close it. Okay, now we'll use this template, the template which we just created, to add a title block in any existing drawing. And for that, I'll open a drawing which I already have on the desktop. So I'll go to application, open, and I'll open a drawing. Well, I'll go to desktop, and there we have it. We have a drawing called foundation plan. Well, I'll select that, click on open, and there we have it. So this is the drawing which I have, and right now if you notice here in the layout, we don't have any specific kind of template or anything special so far here in this. We only have these two layouts. Now let's add that template with the title block and everything else which we just now created. So for that, I'll right click on this model tab and select this option from template. Well, this will obviously open the template folder, but we want the template which we created. So I'll go to desktop, NCA template, click on open, and we only have a single layout, that's NCA. Click on that, select it, and look at this, we now have that NCA. And if you zoom into this, look at this, everything is now added exactly as per our requirement. And also we have the date, and if you have already defined your viewport scale in a sheet set, it will show it here. Right now it's not showing. And we have this checked as well as drawing section, which is still not showing, but it should show the information, the relevant information. Well, to make it visible, you can regenerate. So let's type REA, that's regenerate all command, and that will in a way refresh your drawing. So now press enter and look at this. So we have the relevant information. So checked by Jayaprakash, that's my name, and the foundation plan is the name of this drawing. So these two information are already defined in the drawing. Now we can maybe move this foundation plan well within this block, the title block, and there we have it. So that's how you can use fields to intelligently add information in your title block. Right now the viewport scale is still not refreshed because we are not using a sheet set, and that's the viewport of a sheet set, and also we don't have the viewport yet. So let's add a viewport, but still after adding the viewport we won't see the viewport scale because we are not using the sheet set viewport. So that's a different thing, and if you want to learn more about sheet set, you can go to the link in the description and there's a course which you can follow. Now moving on to this, let's add the drawing here, and for that I'll go to this layout tab, go to this rectangular and make a rectangular viewport, and the drawing is now added like this. And we have the drawing, we have this complete template with the title block and everything else, and you can now plot your drawing from this if you want, or if you want to simply add more layouts, follow the same step, right click from template, and you can just keep on making more templates and add your drawing like this. So that was all about creating our own title block with the fields, text and other information, and converting them into a template and using it in actual drawings. So if you have any question related to that, let me know in the comment box, and don't forget to share this video, and thanks again for watching.